Okay, you're on.
All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Poets is Anarchy. And it's imperative that we remember that it takes more than one monkey to put on the show. So I'm Jeb Platt, and I'm blessed to have Kristen Peterson here. And I've never heard her poetry, and she's never heard mine. So this is going to be...
fun.
Yeah, an adventure. And life's got to be an adventure. So what I was hoping we could do, Kristen, was start out with you telling us a little bit about yourself and reading a poem you like. And we'll talk about it. And when Keith comes in, we'll have him do it. I do the same deal. But basically, just a real free flow.
Okay.
And a lot of times, because I'm not that bright.
There's Keith.
Yeah. A lot of times I need to hear the poem twice. So, you know, for me to really appreciate it.
Okay.
You know, so.
Okay.
Baby, break a leg.
Introduction of myself, I guess. I'm Kristen Peterson. I am a documentary journalism major at UW Milwaukee, but that's less important to me than poetry is typically. So I'm making films, mostly documentaries, and what I really hope to do is tell stories. The other day at the Midwest Small Press Fest, which was this weekend, someone brought up a really great point. He said, when you submit to a journal and it's prose, they say, is it nonfiction or is it fiction? But when you submit poetry, they never ask you, is it fiction or is it nonfiction? And I think that is great point, because I don't think I've ever written a fictional poem. Maybe. Every once in a while, for sure. But so the poems that I'll be reading today are definitely nonfiction poems.
Yeah, I think I'm interrupting, Kristen, and this is just a free flow thing.
Good.
You know, I look at it like there's a lot of difference between facts and truth, and facts have nothing to do with truth. You know, and that's what and I can remember just as a little kid, you know, I'm talking about 8 or 9, reading poetry to my mother. Because she's on, you know, I mean, you know, I couldn't do it to my buddies because I was a tough kid, you know.
Yeah.
And I was always too tough for that kind of thing. So anyhow, I'm gonna let you start, and now my friend Keith is here. And so we got 2 good poets in here for sure, and hopefully you'll like my stuff. But Keith, I was telling Kristen that we might have, in order for me to understand things, sometimes I need the poems read twice. You know?
Right.
Yeah, and so...
You have a good radio voice, both of you, by the way.
Thank you.
Well, you sound lovely, but I'm more interested in your writing now.
So I'll be reading from this book. In the first week of February, I stopped journaling. I'm kind of an OCD journaler, and I told myself I need to stop for a little bit. So I stopped, and I got this tiny little notebook. I got 3 tiny notebooks, one for poetry, one for day planning, and one for just taking notes during meetings and stuff like that. And the day that I set up the poetry one, I wrote an entire poetry book in a week.
Wow.
Because I feel like it just came up because I was prepping myself as a journaler for a while. So this is called Sinistry at the Juke Joint. All of those things I wrote. And the structure of it, I was really obsessed with astrology for a while because it's interesting to me. And
have you ever been in a juke joint?
No, I haven't.
See that, you know, I'm a lot older than you, and juke joints are just ain't nothing like them. Ain't nothing like them.
I need to go.
Well, you got to go down south and hang out with black folks. So, you know. And, but yeah, you come down south and you're going to find some juke joints.
I want to go south.
Yeah.
So the structure of it was 12 of the poems are profiles, basically, of each astrological sign. And then in a cycle, I would have, like, there'd be Aquarius, and then there'd be Aquarius to Leo. So I would have the relationship in one poem. The next one would be Leo, and then Leo to Pisces, and then, yeah, yada, yada. So, Jeb, what is your astrological sign?
Oh, I'm a Virgo.
Virgo.
And I feel like we're at a singles bar.
I'm a Virgo, too.
Are you? See? Good people are Virgo.
Well, I'm half Virgo.
How can you be half of something?
I was born on the day it changes to Libra.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yes, makes me cooler than you.
Yeah, well, my mother was a Libra, and she was about the coolest person I ever knew.
Yeah, Libras are fun.
Yeah.
So I will read the Virgo one.
Okay.
It's called Virgo, or That Just Won't Do.
Beautiful. I like that.
Hemlines reversed, quick tongues lined with a reverberating mind, terse respect for the growing, dissenting degrees of distress, and my helping his hands would only result in being undone, over, and then over sarcasm's sand dunes, and I fall into ridiculing his rooms. I have a cold. I have a cough due to cold, girl. Will you talk to my mom for me? Your sincerity reeks plainly in my shrill and garish yelps when the television starts on about yarrow and dreaming and daisy beating. They will certainly keep you in a more John Locke than a Franklin mood. Even if I sit a stadium away, we both know that just won't do.
Okay, I love the sarcasm over sand dunes, but especially with your John Locke. You know, I wouldn't have put John Locke in any poem. I've never put anything like John Locke in any poem, and that's disconcerting. I like that.
I believe John Locke's a Virgo too. That's why I put that in there.
Oh, really? I have no idea about that. Yeah, but it's yeah, I just like that image. What do you think, Keith?
I was just wondering if you put John Locke in there because he was a Virgo, would there have been another substitute had John Locke not been a Virgo? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I was looking for a famous American founding father that was a Virgo. And Franklin is not a Virgo, so...
Well, John Locke is English, so...
Oh, damn it. Well,
sorry.
No, he wrote about democracy, right?
Yeah, but he was English. He was writing in England.
It was important to us, so he's American enough.
He wrote Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Property, and then Jefferson changed it to the Pursuit of Happiness.
That's very important.
Which is different, and it probably explains why nobody has any property, but we're all very happy.
What planet are you from? Damn. It's not. No, that really the founding fathers did. You know, the only people who could vote were white men with property, period. And so that fits in. And, yeah. But I never would have thought about astrology, you know. I don't know anything about it. Yeah, so this is interesting. And I'll read it again, will you, Kristen? So I can really get the feeling on it.
Okay, this is my least favorite one, but it's still in there, so.
Okay.
Okay. Hemlines reversed, quick tongues lined with a reverberating mind, terse respect for the growing, dissenting degrees of distress, and helping his hands would only result in being undone, over, and then over sarcasm sand dunes, and I fall into ridiculing his rooms. I have a cough due to cold, girl. Will you talk to my mom for me? Your sincerity reeks plainly in my shrill and garish yelps when the television starts on about yarrow and dreaming and daisy beating. They will certainly keep you in a more John Locke than a Franklin mood. And even if I sit a stadium away, we both know that just won't do.
Talk about sarcasm over sand dunes. I love that. And I don't know why that image just strikes me, but that really strikes me, Kristen. I just love that, you know?
In my opinion, sarcasm is a very hard thing to do without sounding condescending. And usually sarcasm is used by cowards. They can't say what they actually mean, so they have to be sarcastic. And I feel like a sand dune, once you step on it, you can't stay on it. You can't stay on it unless you sink into it or you fall off of it. So, and in my experience, including myself, Virgos are very sarcastic.
They can be. And I tell you what, and sarcasm is really, to me, very evil. Because it comes from the root word scaris, which means to pick flesh from bone. And it's a really sneaky thing, you know? And as a youngster, we all know to be sarcastic, to hurt people. And women can be especially sarcastic because they're so smart, you know? And I never realized until somebody broke it down for me what it is. And whenever I hear somebody be sarcastic, I think of ultra-capitalists, kind of like Mitt Romney. You know, just picking flesh from the bone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Placing blame on anyone but themselves.
Yes, and to humiliate somebody, and I don't know how many people I know, and I believe it. You know, I'd much rather have a beating than somebody be tearing me apart with sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And usually, people that do that kind of cruelty are both sarcastic and physical, emotionally, sexually, everything abusive.
Yeah, it's very. And they probably have a history of being abused.
You got it,
So-
Dawn. Yeah, exactly.
That's where that came from.
Mm-hmm. And see, Franklin is just such a pretty image compared to John Locke.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, how can you not like Ben Franklin?
He was a partier. He was fun
Yeah.
to be around.
And you think about this old boy with a bald head and silly-looking glasses, a paunch, and being every woman in Paris loved him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Good thing his wife was all the way in America.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that bothered Ben Franklin much one way or the other.
No.
Yeah,
probably not.
he didn't care about that kind of thing too much. But that's beautiful, Don. Very nice. What else did you get out of Keith?
I really liked it. I like the. I was reading it's in quotations. I have a cough due to cold girl. You talked to my mom for me. Like, I was just wondering why that was in quotations. What, where you got that from?
Someone actually said that to me
Okay.
many times.
You're talking about a lover of yours before they would whine.
No, it's a former best friend.
Oh, okay. All right. Same kind of thing then.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep. And being able to manipulate, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I could see how you could get away with saying things because you seem so sweet, you know. And I don't think that has anything to do with what you really are about. But you know, I mean, obviously there's a real intense, a real edge to you that nobody sees. So I say, hey, go talk to my mom for me. Yeah, if I had a girlfriend, yeah, especially like that. But I thought you just had a wuss boyfriend.
I've had them, but not a Virgo.
So yeah, I like that, but especially sarcasm over sand dunes. Because see, my picture of sand dunes are so beautiful and so pure. I love the pictures of them, and sarcasm is such an ugly cleaver. You know?
Yeah, when I think about sand dunes, the wind usually takes off the top and then it flies away. It's like I guess I didn't think about this much, but sarcasm feels like the wind like lopping off the first layer of sand that goes down the side. Just like it does something, but something inconsequential. But I guess over time it really does shorten the sand dune.
Yeah, see, I'm amazed by the power of wind and water. Yeah, and the beauty of sand dunes because they do change all the time. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Well, my friend Keith is here. Now, Keith is a man I first heard of Liniments, and I really loved your poetry. I've told you this, Keith. I really loved your poetry.
Thank you.
But then, more importantly, as we got to know each other as human beings, watching football while the poets were doing their poetry, you know, I feel really close to you, and I'm so glad you agreed to do this.
I'm sure. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm late, by the way. I don't have a cell phone anymore, and it turns out that was also my watch and pretty much my calendar and everything. And now I feel like an idiot for admitting that, but it's just the way it is.
Well, you know, I used to like you, now I don't.
I'm sorry. I figured that when I saw your face when I came through the door. I was like, oh, Jeb's not my friend anymore.
No, it's so funny. This is a true fact. Nicholas tried to call you. He thought he had your cell phone number.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get through and stuff. So he's convinced that something was wrong with technology. He didn't think anything about somebody not having a cell phone.
Oh, it is. There's something wrong. My phone just doesn't work anymore. So, but it's a very it's my end of technology, I guess.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I know how that feeling works.
See, you know, I'm not like one of these people that has phone numbers in cell phones. I write down my phone numbers. So I don't even know how to do cell phones. And what's up?
I just want you to talk into the mic a little more.
All right. All right, now we got the big boss telling us what to do. Is this young man your buddy?
Oh yeah, that's James Murphy.
Okay.
Is he talking to Andy?
He might be.
Just yell out Andy's name.
Andy.
I'm not good at yelling.
No?
I'm on the radio. I can't yell.
Oh, sorry.
You can do anything you want, man. Yeah. Like I told Kristen,
It's vacation.
it takes more than one monkey to do this show.
I've been trying to figure out what I would read when I came on here, so I think I'll just read a poem that I read last night not last night, but on Monday night at Cynthia's feature, The Jabot of Love Poems. The note that accompanies our effort, written in the language we beg in and we speak in, the voice reserved for the telephone when a stranger talks to us, asking, "What do we mean by this?" It's not your voice. It must be the voice of the superego collective consciousness I keep hearing so much about. I'd sign my letters different. There's a dogfight going on.
No, that's Haley's comment. She's just trying to rum-dum out there, just being silly.
Whoa.
And Haley's comment can do nothing wrong. So you're gonna have to reread that again because I got disconcerted. True.
All right. The note that accompanies our effort, written in the language we beg in and we speak in, the voice reserved for the telephone when a stranger talks to us, asking, "What do we mean by this?" It's not your voice. It must be the voice of the superego collective consciousness I keep hearing so much about. I'd sign my letters different.
See, Keith, I love Jung, and he's the man that came up with collective unconscious, and I have no doubt that we all have that collective unconscious, and that's why our symbols are so much alike, through cultures and I mean, there's been whole bunches of Jesus Christ in all kinds of cultures, and snakes have almost always been bad guys through the cultures, and so
except for the Ophites. The Ophites thought that the snake was the one that was coming to save us.
Well, I don't know anything about Ophites. What are Ophites?
They had a different take on biblical history altogether. I only know like a little bit about it from a couple classes I took, but they basically believed that the snake was trying to save us from the evilness, that God wasn't really good, like what the snake was, and that the snake was getting Adam and Eve to eat the apple so that they could gain wisdom in order to rebel against God. And then that Jesus was a reincarnation of the snake, coming back to help us escape the tyranny of the Old Testament God. So, which is a whole different.
Have you ever heard anything like this?
I didn't hear it was a snake, but yeah, I've basically, yeah.
The snake from the Garden of Eden. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think the idea of eating from the
somewhere there's a theology major shaking his head. Got it wrong.
Well, that theology major can call up Xavier and tell us.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting, And I don't know if I'm really absorbing that. Can I look at it and just read a little bit?
Oh, sure.
Thanks. I was going to have everybody talk to Joanne about this last night. So.
Yeah, I didn't have time to come in and Xerox things, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's what we were going to do, but we didn't do it either.
What was Xeroxing for?
To share with everyone here at the
Yeah, so we could share, have the written word as well as the voice. Because you two have such expressive voices. But I love how the reserved for the telephone when a stranger talks to us. What do we mean by this? That knocks me out.
Yeah, it feels like you explored one idea to its end, which is maybe a voice, how you describe your own voice or what a voice is. It was like and then the last two lines, I'd sign my letters different if I did. I like that.
Has your signatures changed through the years?
I think it has. I still write in block printing.
Do you?
I have a story about that too. Put in my. This is out of one manuscript that I have as a short chapbook, but the other one I'm trying to put together as a full-length collection. But there are some short, kind of nonfiction personal essays And one of them has to do with the first time I got an F, which was in penmanship in 4th grade. And when we failed, it was like a big deal because no one ever got an F. And it was so silly because they didn't even have summer school then. So it was like this, there's a big, long story to it. But anyway, ever since then, I had never learned cursive. And what's so funny is, like, not but a year or two ago, they just took cursive writing completely out of the curriculum for elementary students. So it was like this big thing in my life that, like, would not happen had I gone to school today. And it's really funny.
Yeah, see, my whole attitude about that kind of thing was I still have terrible penmanship. And it's like I never stayed in lines when you colored or anything like that. It never crossed my mind to follow the rules.
Right.
I mean, that seemed like a weird idea as far as that cursive thing. But, yeah, I just think about my signature has really changed. I mean, I used to write Jeb Platt, the whole name, and now I just write 3 letters, you know?
Right.
Yeah?
What letters do you write?
JPT. Yeah. Yeah, nevertheless, it's just an interesting thing because, you know, a lot of people say they can read penmanship and know about personalities. I don't know about that, but I really like this.
I believe it, but I'm predisposed to believe that type of stuff.
Yeah, you see, you got a real mystical side to you. That, and that's why I believe that in order to be a real mystical person, I mean, the mystical people I know are Native American folks, and the most spiritual I ever felt was in a sweat lodge and that kind of thing. And they laugh.
Yeah.
You know, they laugh.
Laughter is the most spiritual thing.
You got it. I think so. Wow, I'm glad to hear you say that because I believe that totally.
Yeah, I haven't laughed as well lately. I haven't laughed very much, and it feels weird. Like I feel like I need to do yoga or I need to drink a lot of water because I feel out of sorts.
Yeah, and like when you were talking, Kristen, about stopping journaling, and I can see how you'd be obsessive compulsive about it, you know, but I know when I don't journal, one of the things I try to do every morning is my morning papers, which is just 3 pages of free association, writing longhand. You know, if I don't do that, I'm really askew.
Yeah.
You know? And some people save their journals. I just throw the damn things away. So, you know, I'm not saving them.
I have to save mine.
That's because you're obsessive compulsive.
Well, I don't know if it's obsessive. You wink. I don't know if it's obsessive compulsive. Like, I was just reading one from 6 months ago, and I said that I want to get rid of these people in my life that are very mean, just mean, and don't have redeeming qualities, but I was nice to them because I was born Quaker, basically. Like, I was born to be nice to everyone, and that's dangerous. And I've learned that. So I set a goal for myself. Like, I'm going to distance myself. I'm still going to be kind to them. I'm going to distance myself from them. And I did. So it's nice. It's nice to go back 6 months and read my journals and be like, oh my gosh, I actually do follow through with my goals. And I usually don't feel like I have, I don't know.
I might reconsider it because I usually write at the beginning of the month things I'm afraid of, just terrified of, right? And invariably at the end of the month, none of the damn things will come to be, you know?
Yeah.
But I was terrified to death about those things, you know? So I could see like saving them for a month, but you're exactly right. If I don't cut off these toxic folks, and I'm pretty bold about it, pretty pragmatic and pretty strong about it.
I'm not.
I know, because you're, you know, and it's different kind of personalities. And that, I don't think that means you got less will, you know. It's just different personality.
Yeah, I feel like I'm more feminine to your masculinity when it comes to dealing with people.
Yeah, thank God for that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you know, it's so important that we're so much different and own our stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Yeah, because I'd be about a scandalous individual. They won't let me curse on this radio, so. But you know, and I'm trying to respect Xavier.
It's difficult to not curse, actually, isn't it? Though when you're trying not to.
Yeah. And you know how my poetry normally is.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm pretty hardcore. Yeah.
You just have to use forget or
Fruit.
fruit.
Mother fruit or
cheese, fudge, and rice.
Wonder where those jokers are.
Yeah.
Junk in their trunk.
I think my favorite one, Klaus from Poets Monday says Chevrolet.
What does that mean?
Well, it's to cover up the S word.
That's so long.
But he said, yeah, but then he...
Oh, okay, yeah.
Chevrolet.
Chevrolet. It's a pretty word.
I can, yeah. See, yeah. His shit is such an ugly word. And Chevrolet brings back my memories of, when I was a youngster, people would do muscle cars and all that kind of thing. It was really cool, you know?
Reminds me of corn on the cob, lemonade,
Yeah.
grandpa, grandma.
Yeah, and Impalas.
No, that's more like road trip.
Okay.
Listening to the iPod.
Reminds me of a
Well, see,
worn-out
now-
transmission.
See, to me, like, I have no idea what a damn iPod is. So it's just, that's what I think is so interesting.
Is it different from a pea pod?
Yeah, a little
I'm
bit.
just kidding. That's a joke, not
Wait.
sarcasm.
Where from the South are you from?
I'm from Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City.
Yeah. And, that's interesting. So what is a peapod?
It's like an iPod, but
No,
Don't tease him.
I'm not teasing him. I'm making a joke.
See, because I've seen these trucks that go around and deliver food to rich people,
Uh-huh.
and they just call them up, and so they won't have to go to the store.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So that's what I thought you were talking about.
That could be a pea pod.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
what
we
it's
should
called.
start a business called Pea Pods.
I'm in.
All right.
All right.
Always say yes.
All right. It could be the bin in a porta potty that you take out. Never mind.
Now, Kristen, see, I think that, when I look at you more as steel and a velvet glove. Yeah?
What does that mean?
You're hard, but you got such a soft way about you. People don't realize how hard you are. Because I'd hate to try to force you to do something. I bet you that would be really hard.
It is.
Yeah? I mean, damn. Yeah? This girl it wouldn't be somebody you want to play with.
No, I'm a pushover compared to her. I'm
Oh,
sure of that.
Oh, yeah. And women...
Spent a whole hour talking about that.
Yeah. I wonder if my thing's working right now. As Zabi already told me.
I can hear you.
Yeah. And I hope the rest of the world can hear me. Okay, this is the poem I'm going to do.
All right.
Please.
And this is funny because this is a poem that took place right in this store. Have I... yeah, I'm sure I can find it. Okay, here it goes. It took place right in this store, and it's called About Ashley. Indian summer. Everybody's grinning. Ask me about a good movie. Tell her Last Tango. If I was to do it again, I'd taken her aside, told her I'm a bad influence in her ear like she is on me at another level. Everybody attention, grandfather, old Litcher. Nothing as beautiful as a 19-year-old girl, except for maybe a girl 20. Old men last. Only problem is, in 10 years I'll be 68, and she'll be 30. And I'll have to kick her to the curb, drop her like a bad habit. Too old for me.
He winked, by the way, audience.
Yep. I went all, yeah. I love that poem. Because it just took place right in the store, and if Xavier was listening, he remembers this. Yeah.
What's the background for this?
Yeah, who's Ashley?
Ashley's a young girl, 20-year-old girl, who's obviously bold. I mean, she looks, you looks innocent too, and she looked even more innocent, but ain't nothing innocent about this girl. And so anyhow, so we had a conversation, but the fact of the matter is I have more in common with an 80-year-old black man than I do a 20-year-old white woman, And it was just so funny, the connection. And I loved how I flipped the script with, I'll kick you to the curb, drop you like a bad habit, too old for me. Yeah, I just think it's funny as hell. So he's laughing at me, yeah. And we were just talking about that, Kristen, And I laugh at me all the time.
Good.
Yeah, because I do funny shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Yeah.
intentionally make jokes for yourself?
No, I just do funny shit just because I just am clumsy and stupid, but Lord knows I gotta laugh at me.
Oh, yeah. I'd rather be clumsy than graceful.
Oh,
Graceful's
really?
so boring.
Wow.
I don't know.
Right?
I'm kind of clumsy, and it results mostly in bruises.
Bruises
Yeah.
go away.
I don't know. I've got some that have hung around for about a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
You get a good one on your shin, it'll just stay there, and that's you versus the corner of some end table.
It's like an adult's teddy bear.
What?
An adult's teddy bear?
An adult's teddy bear?
Yeah. A bruise.
Oh, I don't know. I've never heard that.
I never heard. Tell me what you're thinking about this.
I don't know. Bruises are kind of comforting. It's like a visual, like, oh yeah, I did that once. Or, it's comforting to me. Okay, moving on.
No, that's interesting because see, my scars are, and I have, anybody looks at me can see the scars in my face, because I had terrible acne growing up. Acne, pimples the size of nickels, right? And if a person really looks at me, they can see the scars in my eyes. But somebody really smart, and I think you're one of these kind of people, can see the scars in my heart. Yeah. And so my whole thing about scars is a whole different idea.
Well, they're painful. I mean, they remind you of something that was painful. But I like to be reminded of that stuff.
Do you?
Yeah, my sister, when I was 11, she took a chunk out of my arm because I stole her Britney Spears Barbie doll.
Oh, Lord.
And
She didn't take the whole arm?
no, she should have.
She should have. You take my Britney, whatever.
Took my head off.
Yeah.
But like, it's a funny story, and I tell people that when they notice a scar, but I'm actually thinking about how I was very mean to my sister. Like, it reminds me that, yes, that was really bad of me, and that was a habit that I was mean to her, but I changed that. So
Did you?
it just reminds me that I have gotten better.
That's good.
I think scars are a very beautiful thing.
It
Well-
can be. Jeb, you and I should get to. Do you have any photographs from your acne era? I had some really great acne when I was in high school, man. It was like,
Grade A.
oh, it was so bad I had to go on Accutane, which is now banned.
Yeah.
What is Accutane?
It was like this stuff this supposed cure-all for acne.
And it did a lot of of girls my age.
Yeah.
They have a lot of stomach problems and stuff.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
damaged your liver. Like,
Yeah.
I remember having to take blood tests to make sure that I had strong enough liver for it.
And fertility, I think, like it diminished
Well,
fertility.
That's like for ladies.
Yeah, for ladies.
For men, it's different.
Yeah.
It made us more virile. I don't know. That's unfounded, but I'm gonna say it anyway. 'Cause It's
Okay.
radio.
Yeah, you can say what you want, man.
Right.
And what are they going to do? We're just only people listening to us are listening on a computer. So
They might leave comments.
they might.
They might refute all of our claims.
See, my attitude was, love my acne, love me.
Right.
You take it all. And by having that attitude, I think got me through a lot of tough times.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah. So, yeah. And of course, that was in the 60s. And the 60s was a whole different era than that.
How'd you get rid of it finally? Like when?
I never got rid of it. I mean, I just grew old.
Your acne goes away.
I mean, it goes away, but it just grows old. You grow old and you lose it.
Oh. I got a horrible sunburn. That's actually how it left.
Really?
Yeah. My face got sunburned.
Weird.
I know. And one of the things is you weren't supposed to go out in the sun if you were on
Yeah.
Accutane.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking. This is why I say there's therapeutic things about Yellowstone Park, because I was walking through Yellowstone Park. And as earlier as I'm saying this, because I figure you might like this story, is like we ended up going up this chain of lakes called the Gooseneck Lakes. And the first lake was about 40 degrees. The second lake was like 80 degrees because they were all spring fed and a chain coming through, and kept going up and immersing ourselves in the lakes and simultaneously getting sunburned, or I was getting sunburned. And then all the stuff just like went away in like a week and a half. Like it just disappeared.
See, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
It makes perfect sense. Because, with me, I had basically boils and stuff, so people had to pop them. Yeah.
Yee.
Yeah,
It's rough. Those hurt when they get when it gets big enough to be called boils. They're no longer pimples.
yeah.
Then they cease. When they get a new classification,
Yes.
a new categorization.
They have one
There's
of that.
pain associated with that just by touching on me. I remember them hurting on my head. It was like I always thought it was like a thought bubble. Like I was having a really good thought. It's kind of coming out my forehead.
Lingered.
Really?
That was just how I explained it to myself emotionally.
But Bukowski has a beautiful story about that because he had the same damn thing.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever read where he having to go into the county and have to have the dry ice put on him and his boil slashed?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's just brutal.
Yeah, that's basically what they did to me too.
Isn't there a story he ends up with his face wrapped in rags or something outside?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They put that. I forget what it was, but that way scars make you. And Kristen, you got such a lovely complexion. It's interesting that you. I mean, I can feel you fearless.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know what that has to do with poetry, but it has to do with human beings, and
Yeah.
poetry is human beings.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've come to realize that poets are gurus or sensitive. Like they got something. If you are attracted to poetry and you want to write poetry, you want to read poetry, there's a common quality which is like sensitivity to how the world moves, something like that. Maybe that's a little presumptuous, but
No, I think it's true because I never told anybody. The only person I ever read poetry to was my mother. And she loved me, but I could not imagine doing it to other people.
yeah.
Until it became cool, and I was a junkie. So I was a junkie poet, and so I do poetry readings and find lovers. Yeah. And so that was back, but poetry itself, it grasps you. It grabs you by the throat. It's like a Jack London story or something like that. I mean, just wow.
That's what they should have had a class on.
You had stuff on Jack London?
No, how to meet people through poetry.
Oh yeah.
Like they have classes on how to get your poetry published, but they don't have classes on how to get laid from your poetry.
Yeah.
Which I think is like
A total seminar.
there ought to be something out there. I mean, you're paying thousands of dollars to go on to graduate school. I mean, theoretically, hypothetically.
You should get laid for
You
it.
should get laid for it. But instead, statistics show.
Okay, you folks on the radio have no idea, but we're talking to one of the most lovely young women in the world.
And Keith,
and me.
a sweetheart.
No, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, every woman by the time she's 11 years old knows her insides are lined in gold. I mean, that's a fact.
I hope. I don't think that's true, but I hope that's true.
I think it is. They know it. And so, like Keith and I are not in the conventional way attractive or pretty,
Speak for yourself.
Well, Keith and I.
Well, I know well, that's why I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's not fair. I've spent thousands of dollars writing poems that must not be very good.
I
It's
I
it's
can't
disappointing.
speak for poet ladies, but personally, I don't know.
Well, anyhow, it's your turn.
My turn.
Yes, you have
your
to read
turn.
another poem.
That's your turn to read another poem.
Can I do a funny one?
You can do anything you want,
No, I shouldn't say it's funny before I read it.
Hey, well, now you're setting us up that if
While
we
you're
do, if we
finding
don't
that,
laugh.
I'm going to compose a letter to Naropa asking them to design a course.
Yes.
How to get laid through
How to get
poetry.
laid through poetry. The Jack Kerouac School of Totally Embodied Poetics.
That's funny, man.
Okay, I'm going to read Scorpio,
Okay.
or Now. It's called.
Okay.
It starts out with okay, actually. Okay. This is the news I got for you guys. Duplication is now multiplication. Milk settles and pleases the stomach. We ream the spirit and the spirit collects us. My sex eases mumps and careening evil. Fireplaces interact with the air, now by design. We are without words. Taciturn, and we know it. Thank you very much. We laugh when we want. We drink from sippy cups. It is because we want, not need to. Mine's purple, yours blue. Jesus gave us fish, bread, wine, and cheese, and hummus, and unleavened emails. Ha ha! Jesus in a digital way. The Pope, the concentrated 100% juice from the can, frozen, and connectivity is impossible without depth now.
Read it again. Because I think it's fun. I think it's got a basis of funny, but it's and they say that about all comics. There's really a lot. Basically, they're hiding a lot of damn pain. Mm-hmm. So do it again, please.
Okay, it's Scorpio or now. Okay, this is the news I got for you guys. Duplication is now multiplication. Milk settles and pleases the stomach. We ream the spirit and the spirit collects us. My sex eases mumps and careening evil. Fireplaces interact with the air, now by design. We are without words. Taciturn and we know it. Thank you very much. We laugh when we want. We drink from sippy cups. It is because we want, not need to. Mine's purple, yours blue. Jesus gave us fish, bread, wine, and cheese, and hummus, and unleavened emails. Ha-ha! Jesus in a digital way. The Pope, the concentrated 100% juice from the can, frozen, and connectivity is impossible without depth now.
That's really good. That's really good, because...
it's odd reading a poem twice.
Yeah.
They change.
Oh, it does.
Definitely change.
It doesn't change. It's something wrong. But unleavened emails, You want to hear a joke?
Yes, please.
Oh, you want to hear a joke?
Yeah, I'm ready for this.
Okay. So this is, well, it's not really a joke. It's a true story. So the head rabbi was visiting the Pope, right? Mm-hmm. And they got along pretty good. So he went to the office, and the head rabbi saw the red phone on the Pope's desk, right? Mm. He says, what's that for? Well, that's my, direct line to God. He says, well, can I use it? He says, yeah, but it's going to cost you a lot of lira. It's going to cost you a lot of lira to use it, because it's long distance, And, okay, well, I'll give you the money. He gives him the money, calls up, and guy says, hi, Rabbi, how are you doing? What's new? How's that Catholic buddy of yours doing? And do. Have a great conversation, right? Mm-hmm. Well, the next week, the Pope visits the head rabbi in Jerusalem and goes into his office, same red phone. And the Pope says, what's that? What's my direct line to God? He says, wow, can I use it? Yeah. Well, how much money I got to give you? Oh, don't worry about it. From here, it's a local call.
Mm.
There you go.
I think it's funny as hell.
I like that.
Because, yeah.
Who said that?
Rabbis in the house.
Yeah.
Holla.
Mm-hmm.
Holla, holla, holla.
But getting back, I like that. Let me read it by myself, if you don't mind, Kristen.
There's notes on it, but...
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, this now makes sense. Your parentheses, we ream the spirit, and the spirit collects us. Eases mumps and careening evil, capitalized. Because I love that idea of easing mumps. Have you all ever had mumps?
No, I haven't.
You ever had mumps?
No.
Vaccinations.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. And I never had them either, but I sure have. I like how you write. I like how the words look on your paper here, and we ream the spirit, and the spirit collects us, and then a big long space. My sex eases mumps and careening evil. That's great. Very seldom do I like to read stuff and as much as hear it, but I believe poetry should be all. Yeah. You got a weird mind. Yeah. I mean, really, you take things and flip the script on us, Yeah. My sex eases mumps. What do you think, Keith?
Let me see.
Okay.
Put him on the spot.
Yeah. It's good for him.
That was a Scorpio. Okay, I missed that it was a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what a Scorpio is. Is that the crab?
No, it's a scorpion.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Cancer is a crab, I think.
My parents are Cancers and Scorpios.
Are they?
Mm-hmm. Well, Cancer and Scorpio. I don't have multiple parents.
Hmm.
Wow.
Taciturn.
Yeah,
That's a good word.
That's an interesting word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
Well, you can't help but say it and and you feel it when you say it. It's one of those words that somehow it is exactly.
It kind of has the sh in the middle, like taciturn, like shh, don't say it.
Don't be so
quiet.
Don't be so taciturn.
Yeah, and that's what I see. Like what he says, when I hear taciturn, I hear it nasally. You know, I see some skinny British school teacher, male or female, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But they're all taciturn.
Yeah, stoic, taciturn.
Yeah, I love that. Because the rest of the poem is so sensual, you know?
So is a Scorpio.
Yeah? You think so?
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah? Why?
Every Scorpio I've met.
Oh, I thought you meant scorpions themselves.
Oh no, I would say scorpions are very sensual, or there's so many curves and bumps on a scorpion, and you can't touch them, or you don't want to touch them, but you also really want to touch them.
Yeah.
They'll kill you though.
And see, and you folks on the radio don't get to see her, and her eyes lit up when she said that. It's kind of like talking about bad boys.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Kind of dirty. My dad's a Scorpio. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah.
Because see, you know, I see them as, yeah, you know, I just see them as real powerful.
Yeah.
And a real like,
They're always,
I just don't give up.
yeah, and the color too. They have the oily, multi-dark, rich colors like purples and greens and blacks and like oil.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
And they'll kick your ass into next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really into like mixed martial arts for a while, and I used to watch a lot of fights. And there was this guy that I had no other way of explaining it, but he was a bull. All he knew how to do was just like come at you, and he didn't have the agility to like turn around quick enough and come at you again. He's a bull. And the guy who always won every fight was a scorpion. Like he would stay back and he would entice you, and then he would sting you really quick. You didn't even know that you were poisoned. He would sting you, and he would always win. Same with the spider.
Yeah, it's so interesting because one of the best kick fighters I ever saw was tall and skinny, and looked like his arms were about. I mean, his biceps were about the same size as my forearms, and quick and fast. Jesus Christ, he could kick and slit your throat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and same with Bruce Lee, the greatest fighter in the world.
Oh, Lord.
He did not care about bulking up. He cared about working the minor muscle groups and being quick. Like he wanted to quickly do everything, and he won every fight because of it. Because he cared not about presentation or bulk strength. He cared about what was very important.
And from what I understand, Kristen, for real, and we're gonna have to close up right after this, but for real, he could do that one inch punch.
Yes, yes.
That's what I understand. Now I don't know if it's true
Amazing.
fact or not, but I believe it.
He was amazing.
I've seen footage. I think it's real.
Yeah,
But,
I think you've seen footage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You can find it on. I think you can find it on YouTube. I think they got the 1-inch punch thing happening online.
Yeah.
well, see, I don't know how to use computers very well, but I imagine somebody can show me. But I just like I like the whole Bruce Lee persona of well, take Zabiar here for example. He doesn't look real strong, but I've seen him carry up these solar panels that weigh about 250 pounds. Tied up to his head, climbing up a ladder. And that kind of strength I appreciate.
Yeah. Secret
And-
strength.
Yeah, the internal strength.
Feminine strength.
Oh well,
Capital F, feminine.
I never thought of feminine. I thought of just as strength and non-gender type strength.
Yeah. I guess I'm speaking like yin yang, feminine,
Okay.
masculine. That's what I mean.
Well, see, this is so great because none of this is scripted, and
Or was it?
maybe it was, darling. Who knows? But the fact is, I judge any encounter, period. Did I learn something from it?
Good.
And you really are so incongruent from how you look. That is great. Yeah, and I like that. And that's one of the things I liked about you, Keith.
Oh, thanks.
Because you look like a rough, tough character, and your poetry is just so.
Sincere.
Just sincere, but not sincere like the sickly sincere you were talking about in one of your poems.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, and not
No.
like that blonde guy. But
Blonde
yeah,
guy?
Oh, there's some blind Ricky Schroeder or somebody like that. You know?
Who's that?
No, yeah, it's probably I don't know. Anyhow, never left. Something like Justin Bieber type thing. You
Oh,
know?
yes.
Okay. See, I didn't know who Justin Bieber was until last year.
Good.
So, this is really good. Now we've got something coming on that's extraordinary, ladies and gentlemen. This is a singer-songwriter people, and do yourself a favor and listen to this. I've never not learned a lot from the singer-songwriter people. And somebody's going to have to show me how to shut off this thing.
Oh,
Julie, do you know how to shut this thing off? Because we got to cut it off now.
Get us off the air.
Yeah. Anyhow, like I said, it takes more than one monkey to run this show. Thank you, Keith. I love you. Kristen, you're such a joy.
That was wonderful.
Yeah.